What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today it will be a game between Mouse's MaNa and Rock's Kiss Abver. This is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg game, MaNa versus Abver. We are here on the map, Shakaris Plateau, and let me get you some player information. Starting down over here in the lower left-hand spawn position is our red Protoss player, Mouse MaNa. MaNa took second place at the 2012 World Championship Series Poland Nationals. This was in May of 2012. Also took first place at the 2012 DreamHack Open Summer event. And this was actually in June of 2012. His opponent up over here in the upper right-hand spawn position is our purple Protoss player, Rock's Kiss Abver. Abver took third place at the ASUS Cup Winter 2011, which was actually in February of 2011, quite a while ago. And then in October of 2011, he took first place at the DreamHack Winter 2011 Online Qualifier number 2. And that does it for player information. Now, this is actually a little bit of an older replay. If that's a huge turnoff to you, I understand. I was sent this. I was told it was a good game, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that is going to be the case. Even if it is a little bit older, it still is StarCraft, and it still is interesting. As far as I'm concerned, we are going to be seeing an opening here of a 1-gate from MaNa, and MaNa now actually moving out with a second probe right now, and he is heading where? This is quite interesting. We've got MaNa scouting around there at the natural expansion. The second probe is moving out, and this leads me to believe that we're going to be seeing something a little bit funny here. I don't know what else could possibly explain the fact that MaNa is moving out with a second probe. Just to grab the tower? Is he looking for a scout? Not sure. Oh, this is a forge. Okay, well, there we go. That explains it. We're going to be seeing some cannon harass here from MaNa. Now, he's continuing to scout out the main base, looking for the timing on the spawning pool, which actually just now was placed down. He still hasn't spotted it yet, though, at least based on the vision there. We do have one drone patrolling down over here. The second probe actually over here for MaNa. And hopefully that is going to head now towards Abver's natural expansion. Now we got that first pylon here to begin this cannon harass being placed down on the low ground. Abver is going to scout this probe moving up into the main. He should be spotting this one as well if it decides to move up into the natural, which it actually is not doing yet. It's going to sit down here and place a cannon down on the low ground. And this is what I miss from older StarCraft, is seeing things like cannon harass. This is just absolutely hilarious. Two more cannons getting placed now on the high ground here for MaNa, giving him the trifecta of cannons. And here comes a hatchery in the main base of Abver already. I am super happy that I'm commentating this replay. Abver coming with a hatch in the main, already forced to cancel there of the natural expansion of Abver. We've got that first zealot moving across the map to do a bit of harass. Now, a second drone moving out at the moment. Please do keep in mind, MaNa does not realize that this hatchery right now is in his main base. He has got no idea. He has not seen that, completely in the dark right now. This is why you scout your main base completely. A few Zerglings moving across the map. MaNa still no cannon up front either. I guess, yeah, there we go. Gonna be placing a cannon right now, having that zealot here on hold position. Still doesn't know about this. Abver still in the clear when it comes to this hatch inside the main. Now, once that finishes and the creep starts to spread, and then, of course, MaNa will be spotting that, but I cannot believe that he has not scouted his main base yet. We don't have an expansion yet down over here. Abver is going to be saving up all of his resources, likely to come out with a queen and a few Zerglings, and even try to possibly place a spine crawler down over here. Now, moving up. Actually, not forcing that drone through, is forced back right now as the cannon has finished for MaNa. And here's a hatchery at the natural expansion. Oh, glorious day. Hatchery inside the main base, hatchery at the natural expansion. We are likely to see some spine crawlers. At least a couple of Zerglings coming through there. More Zerglings now coming through. Again, now MaNa knows about this. So we should start to see some cannons over here to defend against that. Spieling's in play. As we do have that metabolic boost now finished for Abver. Abver has stopped mining all Vespene, focusing now on the minerals to just try to mass produce these Spielings here. He's got a couple trying to force themselves through over there. Kills off the Zealot, however, he's still got that cannon to contend with. Now we've got two Zealots and a Stalker working down the hatchery, and you can tell this is old because the Queen attacks with a melee attack instead of that ranged one that's now upgraded with. Oh snap. Alright, so the hatchery down over here at the natural is very close to finished. Unfortunately, wasn't able to place down that creep tumor like he had hoped. A couple Speedlings popping again. They're trying to take out the Stalker, however, unable to do so. We have another gateway coming through over here for MaNa. MaNa not trying to work his way up into like Stargate play or anything like that to get out a Void Ray. Just going to continue to produce more gateway units. He is about to finish this off here. A few more Speedlings popping out before the end of that. They get quickly worked down. Really doing nothing with that. Basically just wasted resources there. Expansion over here, or whatever, this forward hatchery, whatever you want to call it, is now finished for Abver. Abver moving forward again, now trying to kill off the Stalker, taking massive Speedling losses, though, in the process. Let's take a look here at the resources lost. Man, this is old UI. This is a riot. 1,600 resources lost as opposed to 700 here for MaNa. MaNa has finally gotten rid of the hatchery. It was inside of his main. Now coming out with a robotics and another gateway. Photon cannon getting built here on the high ground. We do have those spines. I assumed that this was going to happen eventually. I remember doing some proxy hatch shenanigans in my days of SC2, and almost always accompanied with a few spine crawlers. Can certainly be very strong. 14 Speedlings now in production here for Abver. Abver not at all considering an expansion. He continues to just mass up those Speedlings. Gonna uproot those spines, push them a little bit closer. Cannons are within range here. And here we go. Makes the push. Queen's not doing much. Speedlings are moving forward with the spines. Spine's going to continue now and actually try to work it down. And there you go. Queen's moving forward. Takes out that one cannon. Able to work down the pylons now. This can provide an avenue for the Speedlings to push in. Now we do still have the sentries, which can force field that ramp. But these spines slowly and steadily poking at the front here. Meanwhile, MaNa, with the pylon that he has over here from his early cannon harass, warping in a few zealots and a sentry. Gonna be able to start to push with that very shortly. Creep tumors getting laid down, allowing creep to get up into the main. Here it comes though. A couple zealots and a sentry about to wreak havoc over here. He needs to pull back with a few of those Speedlings to help defend against this. I'm surprised, honestly. Oh no, Queen gets stuck on the high ground and taken out. What are those zealots doing? Just chilling out there. Not too concerned apparently to engage. And as expected, just a few units providing a huge headache here for Abver. Abver, though, pulling down with what looks to be enough Speedlings with that Queen to take out the rest of that. Still got some really nothing going on over there. Actually decides to pull back with the rest of his Speedlings. Has taken care of the problem. Now it's just a matter of actually moving down here and taking out that pylon to make sure that doesn't happen again. Abver groups his Speedlings up. And once more, I am hoping that he actually pushes down to engage with this instead of bypassing it. There you go. Moves down, cannon first, also the pylon. In the meanwhile, MaNa has come out with an immortal, which he is using to try to quickly work down that spine crawler. However, looks like there's just a bit too much damage there from the multiple spines. More immortals coming out. Another gateway also coming through. Speedlings have finally taken care of that pylon in the cannon, and also now looking for another pylon. Never mind. Decides to pull back and get ready to make a continued push. Another Queen on the high ground trying to place down a creep tumor. Unable to do so. That's actually forcing Abver to uproot the spine, and here come the Speedlings. Once more, still have those sentries to worry about. Hallucination getting researched for MaNa. That's a lot of resources to spend on that. Is he going to do it for scouting phoenixes? Is he just going to try to make a push with hallucinated units? Who knows? I guess if someone's seen this game before, then they know. Alright, we've got an observer coming on through to try to deal with these creep tumors, get that creep out of his main. Assuming that's a concern here. Also now working on these back rocks, which will allow him to push out and get an expansion over in this position. Abver finally getting some drones. You can see that he is actually working to get some mining over here at his forward hatchery right outside of the main base of MaNa. This is ridiculous. Robotics at Bay getting placed down now, allowing for a transition into Colossus. Speedling still chilling out, and Observer is there, scouting out fully. Immortals move down and start picking off those spines just one at a time. Immortals so good at dropping those. So here's the expansion finally for MaNa. Right in back of his main base. Again, this was the variation of Xel'Naga. The version of Shakur's Plateau that does have the destructible rocks in the back as opposed to just that ledge. Allowed for pretty easy access back there for MaNa. And it is going to be Phoenix scouting going on there with that hallucination research. So moving out with one Phoenix, going to head towards the main just to see if there's a tech switch or anything. We'll also likely be scouting out this expansion over here. And Abver just in an interesting spot right now. He is just coming out with some Zerglings. Now MaNa is building a pretty formidable army, and the fact that he's got this expansion going now is going to be a concern for Abver. Now Abver may be scouting that out right now as he moves down with his observer to that 6 o'clock position. Very near finish. We'll begin that saturated. First Colossus in the works as well. Here come the Speedlings. Managing to get in the main as MaNa doesn't force field them out. I don't know how much damage they're going to be able to do though. Gonna move down and push it right into this expansion. So here comes the economic damage. Oh, never mind. 2 Stalkers and a Zealot plus these 3 Zealots. Be enough to deal with that. Abver still just chilling out with that. Again, that first Colossus, very near finish, and that is going to be a problem for all of this, actually. He should pretty much be able to take this out without issue. I mean, he can force field to stop Zerglings from moving up, and the Colossus can just continuously work down these defenses and pretty much kill off everything here. So I do believe now that Abver's forward position is SOL. MaNa hasn't grabbed his Colossus yet. Man, how old is this game? I know MaNa to be a little bit more active than that. Not sure, man. Not sure. Speedling's moving on over here. Is he going to try to push from this direction? Possible. We do have a cannon coming down, though, which will make that a little more difficult. Now working on getting this saturated. Also, 2 more simulators coming out. And that Colossus still sitting idly. Ooh, that is painful to watch. Layer in play with a Spire coming through. Let's take a quick look at MaNa's vision. He didn't actually scout this expansion. Wow. Immortals moving down again, trying to take out that Spine Crawler. I am facepalming about these Colossus. Maybe, you know what, actually, maybe it's not his hindsight. Maybe he just is trying to hide the fact. Oh, never mind. He spotted that. Yeah, that's right, Speedlings ran in the main. So he's not trying to hide the fact that he has Colossus. It is already well known. So I'm not sure why he is not being active with those right now. Just goes to show you how much. Look at one of MaNa's games recently. You know, definitely performs much better than letting Colossus sit idly by. But who knows? Maybe he had a rhyme and a reason behind that. Finally now engaging though. Also transitioning into a Stargate, a Spire coming through, and just about finished here for Abver. Abver can transfuse all he wants, but he's not going to be able to deal with this Colossus fire for very long. Speedlings now engaging, and here comes the push from MaNa, now moving down to deal with this. And he, once again, as predicted, will just have no problem taking all of this out. We have another expansion coming up over here for Abver. He does have that natural finish and saturated. MaNa now done with this. And once he takes care of all of this, I'm going to expect him most likely to, of course, just grab this expansion, unless he just wants to sit on these 2 bases for now. All the drones will be moving towards this natural. Work to get that saturated. The main is actually close to mined out. This will be an attempted hidden expansion from Abver. That's why he's taking it up here as opposed to right over here, or even possibly over here. Taking it in this position, hopefully attempting to try to hide it. Does it work though? MaNa hasn't scouted it out yet. MaNa planning to take the natural. He's got a pylon down here. Probably come out with some sort of a wall off as well. Oh no, gonna catch the drones in transit. That's a huge problem for Abver because not only is he going to be losing these workers, that's a dead giveaway to his expansion in the upper left. In the meanwhile though, a couple of mutas taking out the 1 expansion for MaNa. MaNa's just going for an all-in right now. After losing this expansion and his main completely mined out, decides to just all in it. So here come all the probes. A few units moving to deal with this expansion. And here comes the big push from MaNa. Is it going to be enough to take out Abver? Looks like it may very well be. Already taking out that expansion in a matter of moments. Speedlings and mutas moving towards MaNa's army. Doesn't have enough at all. Oh, but his mutas doing a lot of damage. There's only a few stalkers left. If he can take out the rest of the stalkers, that is actually going to be enough. Are you serious? This is pretty close. Immortals moving forward with those Colossus doing a lot of damage, but there does appear to be enough mutas. Takes out pretty much all the stalkers. And the Immortals are going to be next. Gets the rest of the stalkers. Now working out the Colossus. Drones trying to stay alive. Very low. Gonna place down a few hatcheries. There's one hatchery. Oh, he keeps losing so much. And he's lost the expansion over here as well. You've got to be kidding me. All right, no, we still have mutas though. So plenty of mutas. And you do have to remember that MaNa pretty much has nothing. I don't even know that he has any anti-air right now. Let's take a look at the units. 5 stalkers. Not enough. There are just so many mutas. I apologize for misinterpreting that engagement there. Because there were just so many mutas. He was able to take out what few stalkers remained in that push. Although he did lose pretty much everything. Still has this hatch over here and has placed down a hatch at the natural expansion. And there are definitely enough mutas to take out the rest of these stalkers. MaNa appears to be SOL. Taking another look at the units, there are only 6 zealots left, a few probes, and 2 observers. The probes are remote mining right now. MaNa about to lose the rest of his zealots, and that is going to be it. Are you serious? What a crazy game. So now the mutas are just going to push out towards the main base of MaNa, and MaNa can pretty much do nothing. Coming out with a Twilight Council, WTF. Maybe trying to buy himself, maybe trying to get out DT. That's my only assumption. Oh, that's obviously not going to happen though, as the mutas of Abver have now finally moved towards the main base, and with pretty much no mining going on, and no anti-air aside from these few cannons scattered throughout the main. Just gonna systematically pick things off one at a time. Killing off the rest of the workers. There's the good game. MaNa leaves, and wow. An oldie but a goodie. Alright, my friends, thank you for joining me in this trip back in time with a fairly old StarCraft 2 commentary. If anybody knows exactly where this game was from, I would love to hear. All I know is I got it sent to me, someone said it was great, and I should commentate it, and I said, hey, what the heck. Even though it's old, it could still be entertaining. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this game between Abver and MaNa. Absolute craziness. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.